Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial I will show you how to create a friendship bracelet. I will create chevrons, but I will order the yarns different than in the traditional chevron bracelet. So this is a variant of the chevron bracelet. And for the bracelet I will use these three colors: gray, white and black. And the length of the yarns from this to this point is about 70 centimeters, that is about 28 inches long. I will create the loop at this end of my bracelet, so I will grab the yarns this way, so this should be the length of my bracelet, and I will start twisting the yarns on the length of the bracelet that I have established to be the length of my bracelet, like this, of my bracelet loop. And this twisted portion will be superposed like this, so I will superpose the twisted yarns, and as you can see they have twisted around each other, creating my loop. At the basis of this loop I will make a knot to prevent the loop from opening this way, and this is my loop. If I want to open the loop, I just do this, and if I let go, you can see that the loop twists again and gets this shape. So let's start creating the bracelet. In order to start making the bracelet, I will take the clamp and grab the yarns this way, and I will order my yarns. And I will order the yarns as they are usually ordered in the case of the candy stripe bracelets, not in case of the chevron bracelets. So as you can see, instead of putting the yarns this way, like in the case of the traditional chevron bracelet, so the black outside and the gray and then the white inside, so that the yarns are in the mirror. For this bracelet I will change the order of my yarns and I will put them this way, so black, gray, white, and again black, gray, white. Usually this pattern is used for the candy stripe bracelet, not for the chevron bracelet. But now I will make the knots like the knots are made in the case of a chevron bracelet. So on this part, on the left side, I will make forward knots, and on the right side I will make backward knots. Whereas in the middle I will make two forward knots, but I can also make two backward knots, a forward and a backward knot, or a backward and a forward knot. So for the knot in the middle you have the freedom to choose what kind of knots you want to make. So I will start by making two forward knots, so 1 and 2 on the gray yarn, and two forward knots on the white yarn. So in order to make the forward knots I will create the shape of the number 4. I will put my finger under the white yarn, grab with my nail the black yarn and take the black yarn out through this loop. So I made one forward knot and the second forward knot. And I have brought the black yarn here in the middle, and now I will go backward with the white yarn and create backward knots. So the backward knot is the shape of the number 4 like this, but in the mirror. So I'll put my finger under the gray yarn, I'll grab with my nail the white yarn, and I make a backward knot. And I will make the second backward knot. And as you can see, by means of creating backward knots, my yarn goes backward. So it was initially here on the right, and it goes back to the left. If we make forward knots, the yarn goes forward from the left to the right. Let's make backward knots on the black yarn too. So I make the shape of the number 4 in the mirror. I take the white yarn out through the loop here, and I make one knot and another knot like this. And I have brought the white yarn here in the middle, and I will make one forward knot and the second forward knot this way. And I have created the first half and half chevron, so half black, half white. Now I will use the gray yarn. I will make one forward knot and a second forward knot with the gray yarn, and one forward knot and a second forward knot like this. I brought the gray yarn in the middle. Now I will make one backward knot, a second backward knot, one backward knot, and a second backward knot. And I brought the gray yarns into the center here, and I will make one forward knot and the second forward knot this way. Now I will take the white yarn from the side here, and I will make one forward knot, a second forward knot. Here I will make one forward knot and a second forward knot. And I brought the white yarn in the middle, and now I will make one backward knot, another backward knot, one backward knot, another backward knot, and with the two yarns in the middle I will make one forward knot and another forward knot like this. And now I will make with the white yarn on this side one forward knot, a second forward knot, one forward knot, a second forward knot, and on this side one backward knot, the second backward knot, one backward knot, and a second backward knot, and here one forward knot and another forward knot. And now let's continue with the gray yarns from the side. So I'll make one forward knot, another forward knot, one forward knot, another forward knot, and here I'll make backward knots. One backward knot, another backward knot, one backward knot, and another backward knot. And here in the middle I will make again two forward knots, one and the second forward knot. And let's continue. So I will make one forward knot, another forward knot, one forward knot, the second forward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, one forward knot, the second forward knot, one forward knot, the second forward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, and here in the middle two forward knots, one and two, and again chevrons, one and two gray knots to create a gray chevron, one and two knots, forward knots, and now the backward knots, one backward knot and the second backward knot, one backward knot and the second backward knot, one forward knot, the second forward knot, like this. And now let's see what the pattern looks like. So as you can see, we have a gray chevron, and before we make another gray chevron, we have a white half and a black half. After the next gray chevron, the white and the black switch sides, and we have the black on the left and the white on the right. Then we have another gray chevron, and again here our white and black colors will switch. So let's continue creating those chevrons, and when I have finished the bracelet, when I have made the chevrons in the length of the bracelet that I wanted, so that the bracelet goes around my wrist, then I will show you how to create the bracelet tie. So let's continue making those chevrons until the bracelet is finished, and then we can add the tie. And now that I have finished the bracelet, I will make the tie. So in order to make the tie, I will separate the yarns, and I will take these 3 yarns and start braiding them. And now I will make a knot at the end of the bracelet. I will cut the yarns. I will also braid the other tie. And now I will make another knot at the end of this tie. I will cut. And now let's see the finished bracelet. So this is what the bracelet looks like. So as you can see, I have the gray chevrons, and in between I have the black and white half chevrons. And in order to close the bracelet, I will open this loop like this. I will put one of those ties through the loop this way. I will make a knot, and the bracelet is finished. And this is what the bracelet looks like.